The Kepler telescope was built for one purpose: to look at a certain patch in the Milky Way in search of exoplanets. The exoplanet hunter observed over hundreds of thousands of stars and discovered thousands of exoplanets during its lifetime. In 2009, a rocket called Delta II took off for NASA's Discovery program. It carried a special instrument called Kepler, whose job was to keep an eye on a fixed area of the sky in our Milky Way galaxy. Its mission? To find other systems like our solar system, with planets orbiting around stars. Kepler had a giant mirror and a powerful 96-megapixel camera to help astronomers study the light from these distant stars. The main goal was to figure out how many stars had planets around them, and among those planets, which might be just right for life. For nearly 9 years, Kepler kept watch over more than 530,000 stars. It discovered a whopping 2,162 new planets beyond our solar system. These planets were really different from anything we've seen in our own solar system. Many were much bigger than Earth and orbited very close to their stars, zooming around in just a few days. Some were incredibly strange, with scorching temperatures that could melt metal and surfaces covered in seas of boiling hot liquid rock. Others were like the size of Jupiter but had 2 stars instead of 1, leading to 2 sunsets if you stood on their surface. But the coolest thing Kepler did was find planets similar to Earth, just at the right distance from their stars. These planets were in what scientists call the habitable zone, or the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot and not too cold, just perfect for water to exist in liquid form. Water is super important for life as we know it. One of these planets, K2-18b, caused quite a buzz in 2019. It's about 8 times heavier than Earth and orbits a star named K2-18, which is a smaller and cooler kind of star called a red dwarf. Researchers got really excited when they found signs of liquid water in K2-18b's atmosphere, even though it's way far from us. 124 light-years away. It's a big deal because it hints that there might be conditions suitable for life on this distant planet. Even though being in the habitable zone doesn't guarantee life, the presence of water is a huge clue. Kepler's discoveries have shown us a whole new side of the universe and opened up possibilities for finding other Earth-like worlds out there among the stars. According to what Kepler, a special telescope, found, scientists think about 6% of red dwarf stars might have a planet like Earth in a comfortable area, just like ours. Discovering water on the surface of one of these planets is a huge deal in our search for other places where life could exist. This planet, called K2-18b, is the first one discovered by Kepler in a good spot around a star that has water. Scientists first found K2-18b in 2015, and since then, they've used other telescopes like Spitzer and Hubble Space Telescope to learn more about what it's made of. Kepler mostly looked for planets using something called the transit method. Imagine a planet passing in front of a star. When that happens, the star's light dims a bit. That's how we know there's a planet there. By measuring how much the light dims and for how long, scientists can figure out the planet's size and how it moves around its star. But spotting a planet outside our solar system like this is really hard. Earth is tiny compared to the Sun, so if someone far away was watching our Sun, Earth passing by would only make it a tiny bit less bright. Kepler's cameras had to be super sensitive to catch such a tiny change in brightness. Using this same method, Kepler found another planet in 2014 called Kepler 186f, which got people really excited about the possibility of life outside Earth. Now, scientists from Georgia Tech University have studied another planet, Kepler 186f, 500 light-years away. They've figured out that this planet might have seasons and a climate just like Earth because its spin and tilt are stable, similar to ours. Lots of scientists all around the world are studying data from Kepler to find more planets like these. Sometimes they find planets that were mistaken before. One of these planets is Kepler 1649c. In 2020, astronomers rechecked old Kepler data alongside new info from the Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, TESS, and confirmed the existence of Kepler 1649c, a planet 300 light-years away that's a lot like Earth in size and how hot or cold it might be. This newfound world is only a bit larger than our Earth, about 1.06 times its size. It's situated in the Goldilocks zone of its host star, a red dwarf. This means it receives 75% of the starlight that Earth gets from the Sun, suggesting its temperature might be similar to ours. Kepler 1649c is another example of an Earth-sized planet orbiting a red dwarf star in the habitable zone. However, out of the 2,062 exoplanets identified by Kepler, only 16 are in this Goldilocks zone. Not all planets in this zone are ideal for life. Some are tidally locked, where only one side faces the star, making conditions harsh. Others resemble a smaller Neptune rather than a larger Earth. Planets like Neptune are expected to have a thick envelope of hydrogen surrounding any water layer, with a core of rock and iron. If this hydrogen layer is too thick, the temperature and pressure beneath it become too extreme for life. Red dwarf stars, despite being cooler, are more active than Sun-like stars. This means planets orbiting them may face higher levels of damaging ultraviolet radiation than Earth does. Surface temperatures on these planets can range from -100 to 116 degrees Fahrenheit, making them colder than Antarctica or hotter than Earth's deserts. Unfortunately, our current technology isn't advanced enough to study the atmospheres and compositions of these distant worlds thoroughly. But there's hope. Based on Kepler's observations, astronomers estimate that 1 in 5 stars like the Sun may have Earth-sized planets with temperatures suitable for life. Considering that about 20% of stars in our galaxy are Sun-like, this implies several billion potentially habitable Earth-like planets in the Milky Way alone. Kepler, the telescope, looked for planets that could be like Earth, but it found many more different and unusual ones. Some of these were giant balls of gas, called gas giants. These planets are mostly made of gases like hydrogen and helium, with a small rock center. Hot Jupiters is one kind of gas giant. They're big planets that spin very close to their star. Kepler found many of these kinds of planets. One special gas giant, Koi 5ab, was spotted as a possible planet in 2009, but it was tricky to confirm because its star had other stars around it. Scientists had a hard time studying it because the star system was so complex. By 2014, they discovered that Koi 5 actually has 3 stars. They weren't sure if Koi 5ab was a real planet or just a signal from one of the other stars. With more data from a satellite called TESS, scientists confirmed that Koi 5ab is a real planet. Finding planets like Koi 5ab in a system with many stars helps us learn more about how planets form. Apart from gas giants like hot Jupiters, Kepler also found other types of planets. Some are super-Earths, bigger than our planet but lighter than ice giants like Neptune. These super-Earths can be made of rock, gas, or a mix of both. Then there are lava planets, much denser and bigger than Earth, orbiting very close to their stars. Some of them, called Chthonian planets, might be leftovers from hot Jupiters that evaporated. And there's another type, Trojan planets, which come in different sizes and are found in strange spots, sometimes as partners to bigger planets, but we haven't confirmed any yet. Kepler stopped working on October 30th, 2018 because it ran out of fuel. A month later, the team in charge turned it off with a special command from Earth. Surprisingly, this happened on the same day Johann Kepler, the scientist it's named after, passed away 338 years ago. Even though Kepler isn't active now, its discoveries are super exciting. Astronomers believe that soon they'll use even better telescopes to study what Kepler found. One cool telescope coming up is the James Webb Telescope, set to launch in 2021. It'll get a closer look at some of the things Kepler found. People hope it might help answer a big question. Are we the only ones out here in space? What do you reckon? Do you think astronomers will uncover more weird planets hidden in Kepler's data? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed learning about space, consider subscribing to our channel for more exciting updates about the universe.